On January 11th, 2019, Joe Gibbs Racing suffered an immense loss with the death of J.D. Gibbs. J.D. was meant to carry on his father Joe's work in leading JGR, in which they had both founded. He also was one who had been a leading person in bringing young Denny Hamlin to JGR and eventually up to the 11 team late in 2005. Hamlin immediately proved that he was deserving of the top-tier ride with 2 wins at Pocono and a championship-caliber third-place season in 2006. In 2010, he won 8 races and was the greatest threat to Jimmy Johnson in any of the seasons of his 5 straight championship titles won. He also made the Final Four in 2014, but fell behind Kevin Harvick and Ryan Newman. Heading into 2019, the 31-time winner was primed and motivated more than ever to win his first Cup championship, and right off the bat, Hamlin locked himself into the position he needed to be.
Back up to Priest. He's not going to be able to do it on his own. He's got to get that push from Priest. He's going to have to get on the brakes here, but he's got Kyle Busch in the outside lane.
Logano and Priest grew up together at the quarter midget tracks in Connecticut. And Logano looks low. Top lane gets spilled. It's Kyle. Kyle Busch in the top lane. Logano on the bottom. McDowell, the second yellow car. Where will he go?
So interesting that McDowell decided to go with Kyle Busch, but here comes Erik Jones on the inside. Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin off turn number 4. No, side-by-side battle to the finish. This time, Denny Hamlin wins his second Daytona 500 and wins it for Coach Gibbs in Toyota.
With Gibbs cars running 1, 2, 3, it helped the team heal and continue on into a championship-destined season for the Toyota's flagship organization. The following 5 races saw 5 finishes between 5th and 11th before once again winning.
You said it, Daryl. He has a way of coming back.
I don't know how he does it, but they do it a lot.
A double penalty day and a checkered flag for Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin would struggle throughout the middle months of the season, finishing outside the top 10 more often than not. But once again, he would channel his early career success at Pocono.
One more lap around. Hamlin, Jones, Truex Jr., 1, 2, 3.
Here they come, final time off the end of the front straightaway. Does everybody have enough fuel? Further back, almost down, onto the apron is Kyle Larson. Larson trying to regroup as Denny Hamlin brings him off turn 1 for the final time this afternoon here in Pocono.
Headed toward the tunnel turn for the final time. Denny Hamlin, all 8 cylinders still heading here. Still got the fuel to keep this car going. His teammate, Erik Jones, also close on fuel right in his tracks as they exit the tunnel turn. Everybody's still up to speed.
The long racetrack, though, still time to run out of fuel. Will these guys have enough fuel to get to the end? Denny Hamlin has this race in hand as long as he has enough fuel.
Right behind him, Erik Jones looking for his first ever win in the Cup Series. But Denny Hamlin is going to be the spoiler today. His 34th career win.
Following this up with a 3rd and a 2nd meant that he was the hottest driver in the sport entering the Bristol night race. In the closing laps, Hamlin was chasing down underdog fan favorite Matt DiBenedetto. Passing him would give Hamlin his most unpopular win of the season and possibly his career.
Races, here comes the 11. Now they're side by side for the lead. A little contact.
The 11 made that move because of this. He believes he can get there and maybe catch him. Use the 12 of Blaney as a pick.
Denny Hamlin now has the advantage. He's in front. Hamlin in front in Bristol.
Now all the pressure switches. It now switches to Hamlin. Now
1 mile to race at Bristol. Denny Hamlin has fought valiantly against the Italian stallion tonight in Matt DiBenedetto. Will there be one last push to try to catch up to that 11? A lot of traffic as they come up on 1 lap to go. And very tight for Denny Hamlin. The checkered flag will fly. Hamlin wins at Bristol.
With this, Hamlin entered the playoffs with 4 wins and 30 playoff points, seating him in 2nd for the start. This put him 29 points ahead of the cutoff line. A 15th at Las Vegas dropped him to 7th on the grid, but he was still 29 points to the good with 2 races left in the round. Finishing 3rd at Richmond virtually ensured he was moving on to the next round, and a 19th at the Roval in the last race of the round would do the trick. This time, reseating him 3rd, 25 points in. Hamlin started from the pole at Dover, going on to win the first stage and finish 5th, and he extended his gap over the cutoff line to 48 points. This points lead only grew with a 3rd at Talladega, putting him now 58 points ahead and virtually locking him into the round of 8. Just to be sure, though, Hamlin made Kansas another showing of his championship prospects.
What's the 18 going to do?
And 18 side by side. That's great for Denny Hamlin as those guys working side by side aren't able to draft up. Actually, 11 is able to pull away.
Pulling away, the fight for second now. Chase Elliott surging ahead.
Chase is clear. He's got to drive up for that at 18.
Joe Logano actually picking spots up back in the pack.
Cars in the fence off of turn 4.
Keselowski having trouble. He's really slow.
The white flag came out. Now it's Denny Hamlin trying to hold off the 9 of Chase Elliott. Here comes Kyle Busch as well. Down the backstretch for the final time.
Oh,
a good run by
the
the 18. Kyle Busch with momentum. Here comes Chase Elliott. Denny Hamlin up the racetrack.
Look at the points.
Out of turn 4. Denny Hamlin will win at Kansas.
Entering the round of 8, he was seated 3rd once again, now only 9 points to the good. He also, once again, started a round from the pole, this time finishing 4th and putting him 2nd, now 24 in with 3 races left in the season. It looked like he would skate on by into the final 4, but as what seemingly always happens to Hamlin, disaster would once again strike.
11 cars.
Oh, 11, Denny Hamlin across the grass.
Yeah,
Not a lot of damage to this car, though.
Now the back. Right front, Rick, caught the grass, and to your point, it didn't tear the fender off.
Bring it back to us.
That's a lot of damage.
The splitter's gone from the right front.
Yeah, kind of single file in line with the 88 here. Drives in, looks to the top of the 88, and just goes up the track and loses the back of the race car. You see one wiggle. Man, that's late off the corner, Junior.
Yeah. Hamlin was dropped to 5th in points, 20 points out of the final 4 with 1 race left in the round. Unlike the past, though, instead of folding, Hamlin rose to the occasion.
One more time around 1 mile at ISM Raceway for Denny Hamlin to keep his championship dreams alive. The 18 trying to use those 4 fresh tires, but it's still 3 car lengths separating Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. Through 3 and 4 the final time, Denny Hamlin has done it. He's won his way into the championship 4.
For the 2nd time in his career, Denny Hamlin would be a member of the Final 4 in Miami. And, with all else considered, it began to feel like it would be Hamlin's year to finally win it all. But to make it happen, he would need to go through his teammates, Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr., as well as perennial championship contender Kevin Harvick. Hamlin was once again in the thick of the title fight throughout the first 2 stages. Within the last 100 laps, he was beginning to show again his championship strength.
Business is picking up with these restarts here late in this final stage. But they're interesting, though. Oh, Truex real high off the corner.
And both of these guys are stuck back here in traffic, and Denny Hamlin going for the lead.
Denny Hamlin surging ahead as he goes into 1.
That's the first time Denny Hamlin has seen a sign of having the fastest car tonight.
Hamlin stayed in the hunt late, but as what happens each time that Hamlin is competing for a championship, it ended in disappointment.
Gotta hit pit road. May have already done damage, right, Steve? I mean, you don't know. It's impossible to know how much water it pushed out of it.
Yeah, I mean, to run that hot can hurt the engine. You saw the steam.
Yeah, still coming out.
We did several years ago, though. We saw a car at Talladega run around like this for like 15 laps, and I kept thinking it's going to blow up. It might have been.
It might have
been you.
Those gauges were pegged for at least 10, 15 laps at Talladega. Marty.
Just so crushing for Denny Hamlin, this 11 team, the slow roll down pit road, and it's just spewing water everywhere. They're going to get the tape off of it at this point. Just going to salvage what they can salvage here. Ford Goodyear tires, but man, look at all that water it's losing, Steve. I don't know how long that thing could last when he's going to go back out on the racetrack.
He needs to get back out there, get the temperature down. You saw the tape pulled off. Once again, that tape was put on the last pit stop. It was a calculated change that was put on in error.
The overheating issue was the final nail in the coffin for Denny Hamlin's 2019 season. He finished in the 10th position, 4th of the 4 championship drivers. So, to this day, Hamlin is still titleless, despite having career highs in top 5s, top 10s, and average finish in 2019. And it makes many wonder, what if Hamlin had had a bit of luck in Miami? What if he had a little bit of a quicker car? What if the car hadn't overheated in the last bit of the race? What if, in 2019, Denny Hamlin captured his missing ring?